All right, friends, we are going to draw ourselves with a friend and we're gonna wind up painting it. I have this stencil for you. You can use it to trace or you can just look at it for size. I wanna make two nice big letter U's. I'm going to draw lightly with my pencil and I wanna make sure my U is bigger than my hand. Each U is going to turn into a person in our drawing. Now, we are not going to add eyes, nose, and mouth today. We are going to add things like ears, hair. So you want your hair to look like the person. I have bangs, so in this picture of myself with a friend, I'm gonna make my bangs that hang down, and then I'm gonna make my hair go down and around. I'm gonna paint this in later, so I'm not gonna worry about filling it. I'm going to make my neck, that's 2 lines. This is my son, I'm going to make 2 lines for him. And then I'm gonna make his hair. His hair is a little shorter, so what I'm gonna do is start by making the outline at the top of his hair, and then I'm going to draw lines that show where his hair touches his forehead. Now we all have necks, we all have heads, we all have ears, we all have hair. I'm going to make our shoulders. I'm gonna go out, and since that goes off the side of the paper, I'm just gonna let it go. Out and down. I'm gonna make a line for his shirt. I can design a shirt if I want. Now I'm gonna go behind him. So when I get to his shoulder, I'm lifting my pencil up. I can't go in front and behind at the same time. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm just gonna go behind. I can draw things like buttons on my shirt. If I have a lot of room for my body, I can do like this and make lines where my arms are touching my body. I could make a general design for a background. Maybe we are camping in this picture, so I'm gonna draw the mountains. I'm gonna draw a tent where we're camping. Maybe I'll make a campfire behind us. And again, no eyes, nose, mouth. I know that, that's not a mistake. We're gonna go back in and add that later. Maybe I'll put a moon in the sky, like the moon is just starting to come up on our camping trip. Maybe I'll put a couple chairs next to the fire so we can roast marshmallows after. And you wanna make sure you're drawing nice and big because we are gonna paint. All right, I have tempera paint now, and I'm gonna start by painting skin on my people. Both of my people are peach in my picture. I have peach, I have light tan, I have dark tan, and I have brown for skin colors. If you don't think any of these skin colors work for you, then just ask me when you're painting, and I will go ahead and help you mix a color that you think matches your skin. We're going to cover up the whole face. I know, we don't have eyes, we don't have a nose, we don't have a mouth. Don't worry, we will go back and do that later. I'm going to paint his neck the same color as his skin because neck also has skin. And then it's time to paint hair. My son's hair is light brown. I'm rinsing my brush in the water and then I'm making X's onto the sponge to make sure it's nice and clean. He has kind of tan hair. It's a little bit blonde, so what I think I'm gonna do is paint it with this tan color and go back in and add a little bit of yellow on top. If your hair is black, I don't have black in my paint sets because the color black mixes with the other colors very easily and kind of ruins them. But I will give you black paint separately if you have black hair. So I'm remembering that my paintbrush is like a ballerina. Ballerinas always dance on their tiptoes. This is the tiptoes of my paintbrush. They never scoot around on their bottoms. This is the bottom of the paintbrush because nobody wants to go to the booty scooting ballet. And I'm gonna go ahead and fill my whole paper with paint, even my background. And again, I am aware that there is nothing happening on the faces right now, and that's okay. I'm gonna go back in and do that later, but I really wanna make sure that I have my people filled in and anything else I want filled in with paint, so the background and our clothes. Next time I see you, we are going to take oil pastels and add those small details on top, the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. You can get a lot better detail with that. So I will time lapse you while I finish painting my people. right, now my paint is dry and I'm gonna go back in and add details, things like eyes, nose, mouth. So I have lots of pictures of different eyes, nose, mouth, different types of clothing you can add, background details, things like that. So I'm gonna pick what I think would be good for this person. My son wears glasses, so I think I'm gonna do a mix of these two. So I'm gonna do his eyes like this. So there's one, there's two. I just did a rainbow and kind of an oval shape underneath. I'm gonna make his glasses. When you're drawing with a pencil, you wanna draw lightly. That way you're able to erase any mistakes you made. He has eyebrows, so I'm gonna sketch those in lightly. Nose, and his mouth. Now I'm gonna go to me and I'm gonna choose like this girl, I think. So I'm gonna do my eyes. Again, I'm starting with that kind of rainbow shape. Now I'm gonna do the same thing where I make an oval, but it's not a complete oval. I'm letting the oval go off the top there. Then I'm gonna connect the bottom with almost like a smiley face shape. And I noticed that this eye looks a little bigger, so I'm just gonna erase and fix it. We'll do this in oil pastel next, but the pencil right now is erasable. You just need to be careful not to erase too hard so that you're ripping your paper. I'm gonna make my eyebrows and I'm gonna sketch those in really lightly. My nose and my mouth. Now that I'm done with that, I can go ahead and add oil pastel. When I do oil pastel and I'm working on the eyes, I wanna make sure I do the white part first. So on my eyes here, I'm gonna do the white around my eyes, and then I'm gonna do the color part of my eye. If I do the color part first, it smears and really makes a mess. So now I'm gonna go back in, and my eyes are blue, so I'm gonna do this part with the blue. So I'm coloring that in, and I'm trying to make sure it doesn't smear. And my other eye. Now I'm gonna go over in a minute and trace with a black pastel, but for now, I'm just gonna leave it like that. I want my tracing to be the absolute last step. All right, my son also has blue eyes, so I'm gonna color his eyes. When you're doing eyebrows, eyebrows are generally about the same color as hair. So for us, we both have kind of brown eyebrows. So I'm gonna put that there. And his eyebrows. Then I'm gonna trace around his glasses. And I wear glasses some days, so maybe I'll go back in and add glasses on me. Once you add the oil pastel, you really can't mess with the pencil. So I'll add glasses to me. So there's one. My glasses. And I'll go ahead and time lapse you while I add small details, and then I will show you how to outline. All right, now I'm gonna go back in an outline. I wanna find a black, or I could even use a brown for this step. Black or brown work. So I'm gonna go over, nose, mouth, and I'm making sure to stay right on the pencil line, because if I go off the pencil line, I can't erase it later. That pencil line is gonna stay, because if I try to erase once I've done oil pastel, I'm just gonna wind up with a big mess. So really be sure to stay right on those pencil lines. And you can see I did an open mouth smile, so I did my teeth with the white first. Because if I did my black and then the white, I wouldn't have a clean pastel. I'm gonna do those lines in my cheek, around my eyes. And you wanna make sure you have a nice point on this, so you might need to rotate it around. And you'll notice that I'm really watching where my hand is, so I'm not rubbing my hand all over my son's face. If I did that, I would wind up with a mess of pastels. And I definitely don't want that. So you want to make sure that you're really staying on your pencil lines, and once you've done pastel, don't rub your hand over it. When you rub your hand over it, it smears. And I can go in and I can put a pupil in my eye, that's the black part, and in my son's eye, I can go around and trace our faces. Sometimes that makes it look nice. To get a nice clean line, I'm doing it really carefully. I can use line to show texture in our hair. Whoop, my pastel broke. So I'll go around his face here. So when I do the texture in the hair, I'm thinking what the hair is like. My hair is straight, so the texture lines I make are gonna be straight like that. When I do texture in my son's hair, he has curly hair, I'm gonna do kind of a curly texture. So wavier lines like that, because that's what his hair looks like. His hair isn't straight like my hair. I can even go back and outline things in the background to make it look nice and neat. But when you're done, you're gonna have a really cool self-portrait / portrait, because it's a picture of you with somebody else doing something that you love to do. So it really tells a story. I cannot wait to hear your story about yourself and either a family member or a friend and what you like to do together.